Man, so Santacruz is not moving up to 135 pounds. He's come out and made it clear that, he wants to fight Gervonta Tank Davis. But if he fights Gervonta Tank Davis, the fight's going to be at 130 pounds. So it's going to be up to Tank Davis to come back down to 130 in order to make this fight happen. He says that eventually he'll move up to 135, but not right now. It's not an issue. I don't think it's an issue whatsoever. Everybody else is making like such a big issue about it. I don't think it's a problem. Tank has said a million times that he'll fight him at 130 pounds. Tank has said a million times that he has no problem and no issue going down to 130 pounds. And I know a lot of people are saying, it's 100, he could barely make 135 pounds. He struggled to make 135 pounds. And I actually made a video before that fight talking about how sometimes when people move up in weight, they think that they sometimes have this particular leeway, but they don't necessarily have. They might slack off in a couple of things or ease off when it comes to certain things and end up missing weight, even though they're going up in weight, and not even be able to make the weight at all. Which then if they had to go back down to the weight they were previously, they'll go and they'll make it easily because they'll discipline themselves and they'll do what is necessary in order to make that weight. When it comes to Gervonta Tank Davis, I remember when he weighed in and he was overweight for his last fight against Gamboa. And I looked at him, I was like, why is he missing weight? He looks like he could lose an lot more weight. He didn't look dry. He didn't look drawn. He looked like he had all kinds of water weight. He looked like he could have lost, I'm talking about pounds, like in a day, like pounds of weight, 5-6 plus pounds with no problem, without even straining himself. So I was like, that's weird. They're like, and everybody's like, he has to lose 2 whole pounds an hour. I was like, he'll make the weight. It's like, never going to be an issue. And he did. He came back and he made the weight. And people keep saying that he's missed weight all these particular times. Gervonta Tank Davis has missed weight one time, period. You know what I'm saying? Whether you make that weight the first time you step on the scale or you make it an hour later, if you make the weight an hour later, you've made weight. So the fight against in the with Mariaga on the what's his name, Mayweather, I think McGregor undercard. I think it was that fight. On that particular fight, nah, it wasn't that fight. Whichever fight it was. It might have been Manny, but I don't know. Whatever fight it was, he made weight. He missed weight that particular time. But this last fight, no, he made weight. He made a weight an hour later. And 2 pounds came off him easy. And I mean easy. And he was in all kinds of, rough spots in that particular fight against Gamboa. But he was able to push through it. He had the stamina. He had his power carried all the way to the 12th round and 11th round or whatever it was. And he was able to stop Gamboa. He was able to stop him. So that's why and his trainer came out and said that, the reason that he missed weight was that he tried to make the weight by himself. On the last day, basically they have protocols that they have set up for for cutting weight. And then from you making weight, they want you to be that weight just for like that hour, those couple of hours, whatever, make weight, and they're gonna, rehydrate you. He said when it came to the last couple of pounds, Gervonta Tank Davis decided he was gonna do it himself. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't even in contact with his trainers, nothing like that. That's where he messed up. He didn't mess up when it came to his diet. He didn't mess up when it came to his nutrition. He didn't mess up when it came to his training. None of that. His issue was that when it came to the guys who know how to handle this, the last couple of days, for whatever reason, and the guys that he pays money to take care of these particular situations, for whatever reason, he decided he was just going to do it by himself. I know what to do. I know what to do. And it turns out, no, you don't know what to do. And he missed weight because of it. They went back there. He put the keys back into the people who know how to drive that damn vehicle when it comes to, cutting the weight correctly. And they were able to get 2 pounds off him like that. Like that with absolute ease. And he made weight. So if he hadn't done that and he had let these dudes do what the hell they're supposed to do, the professionals that he pays a good amount of money to, if he had let them do what they're supposed to do, he would have made the weight. And he would have made the weight easy. He would have made the weight easy. So it's not a thing of, that he's struggling to make weight at 135 pounds. Absolutely not. If that was the case, he would have not made weight. He would have looked drawn. He would have looked emaciated. He would have looked all dry, like complete ish when he went up to weigh in the first time, and that's not what he looked like at all. So I don't believe he's going to have an issue making 130 pounds. And I see this particular fight happening at 130 pounds, and I think that's the weight Gervonta Tank Davis should stay in. I think he should keep his tail down at 130 pounds. I think he's a 135-pound fighter, especially with his size, how short he is. And I think 135 is something that should be happening later. 135 should be basically his end weight. That's where he's going to pretty much end up. And there's nothing for him at 135 pounds anyway. And I know you're saying, Brian, what the hell are you talking about? What you mean there's nothing for him at 135 pounds? Well, Devin Haney's moving up to 140, facing whoever. Adrian Broner said he wants to fight him, but he keeps looking for all these people to fight him. One guy stepped up, says, hey, fight me, let's set this up. All of a sudden now he's ignoring that and trying to do something else. So I don't know. That looks very clout chasing to me, but we'll see what happens with that situation. Then when it comes to Teofimo Lopez has said he wins that fight against Lomachenko. That's his last fight at 135 pounds. And he's moving up. The only reason he even stayed there was to fight Lomachenko for, quote, all the marbles, which is not for all the marbles because there'll be no WBC belt. And that franchise designation is not a major belt. So you cannot become undisputed with that designation. All right? But that's his last fight at 135 pounds. So he's out of there. Lomachenko, if he loses the fight, even if he wins this fight, I could see then Tank fighting him at 135 if Lomachenko wins the fight. But if Lomachenko loses the fight, chances are he's going to drop back down to 130. You got Shakur Stevenson is also going down to it's going up to 130. You know what I'm saying? And then the other belt, whatever the hell his name is, just won the IBF title at 130 pounds. I can't remember anybody's name right now for some weird ass reason. Tevin Farmer just lost his belt. Diaz just got the belt. Okay, he has an IBF belt at 130 pounds. So if he can win one more time, you can fight Diaz at 130 pounds, probably on a pay-per-view. So he got options. He has options of people that he can fight. It looks like the options are going to be at 130, and you probably could see Gary Russell Jr. probably also coming up to 130. He keeps saying that he's going to do it, but let's see if he actually doesn't just keep talking about doing it. It looks like all the action, believe it or not, is going to be at 130, and he can't go to 140. It's too heavy for him. So all the main players are going to be at 140 and at 130, and it's really not going to be anything at 135 anyway. So he might as well go back down to 130. But I see this fight happening once everything is going on, in this world right now calms down, and hopefully, which I don't know, man. This might get ugly out here when it comes to this thing. But once that's all over, I see them, getting that fight done, scheduling it, and I see it happening at 130 on a pay-per-view, and I see it doing pretty good, doing like 250,000 or so pay-per-views, because people underestimate the amount of fans that Gervonta Tank Davis actually has, who I believe will be willing to pay. They're already willing to pay to go watch his actual fights. They're going to be willing to pay to watch him, fight on TV as well. But I'm out for now. Like, subscribe, share. See you on the next one.